Yo. Oh, there he goes. Hi there. I'm trying to make a Kingdom Hearts skateboard. Now, I looked around in the internet, couldn't find one. Wanted one, couldn't buy one. So, might as well make it myself. See a shadow right there. He's just chilling. Right there. So here's the idea. I had enough wood to make 2 skateboards, so I decided I was going to use both of them for the one skateboard. I was just going to kind of interweave it, kind of like how you do with a pie, you know, just fill in the little cracks with the wood that's already there, and I was going to make a bigger skateboard in the end, so that way I would have more space for the wings. Sounds like a good idea on paper, right? I thought so, so that's why I kind of based my whole idea around this one idea, and that's how I was going to do this whole board. And I mean, sure, it's never been done before, but to innovate, you gotta try. And to try, you gotta innovate. So having the idea to do this is completely out of the blue, but I think it's gonna do a pretty good job. That was a stupid idea, and I hate you forever. I mean, look at this. Look. I'm trying to make this work with 2 boards instead of 1. Like, there's holes in the middle. It's not gonna be structurally sound enough to stay in one piece. Like, I must have been delusional thinking that I could make this work. Look at all the holes that would have to be filled. And looking back on it now, and I'm almost done, this would have been hell to work with later on. Thank God I changed my mind. Also, look at fucking idiot me over here trying to make this work. I was whispering, so I got a voiceover again. But this dude tried to make it work with 2 skateboards as a press. Like, how's that gonna work? You want to put pressure on both boards enough with only clamps to push wood into a mold? Like, that's not gonna work. I really thought that was gonna work. In the end, I just completely swapped over to a different strategy. But this is me trying to make a press out of the skateboards. Thank God for that, because I ended up using 1 board instead to make the press, which was just so much easier because I could put pressure on specific points to make it more of a skateboard mold than just a flat piece of wood. Alright, here's the freaking plan. So I got all the wood here, enough to make 2 skateboards. Now this is going to be the benchmark, okay? I got 2 skateboards here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use them as a press. I only have 2 clamps. Can't really see them. 2 clamps. And I'm going to try to clamp them together as a press. Look at Monkey Brain over here trying to make it work. It's not fucking working. It's a press. It needs more pressure. Skateboard. So I'm going to need the edges. Now I could try to just do it as is. I'm sure it'll give me a edge. Maybe actually, yeah, I could make it slimmer. Hold on a second. I'm a fucking genius. Doing this instead is gonna be, because these are wide boards, okay? Super wide. But if I do the press with this instead, the thing is, they're not symmetrical. Oh shit, they are symmetrical. What? That's crazy. Okay, then yeah, I'll press it with this, get the shape, and then I'll cut off the excess, and that'll be the board. Oh my god, that's genius. I'm using this basic wood glue, Type Bond 3. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna do the pattern here because there's like a weird pattern that it goes. Let me turn down this because that's gonna fuck up with the audio. But pretty much, this is vertical, then we have another vertical, then we have a horizontal to give it different give. Then we got the, what's it called? The core, another horizontal, and then another vertical, and then the last vertical. So that way it's stable, it's durable, and it'll be able to make that pop, because otherwise it is just another piece of wood, you know? On another note, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Like, I just Googled how to make a skateboard. So if you wanted to get a better result than I did, I guarantee you could if you take like 10 minutes and do the research yourself. I did no research. I just fucked it up. But this will give it some flexibility and rigidity. Also not going to get rid of these. Not because it helps, but because I'm too lazy to be bothered to find a screwdriver to do the other side. Because I can hold on to this but I can't undo it. It's not gonna come off. So it's better if I just have it there. I could probably put more pressure on it by standing on it too. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that part there. Okay, this is the current state of the skateboard. I used the whole bottle. I actually needed a bit more, but hopefully that doesn't mess with the make of it. The subtlest of foreshadowing. It's not perfect. Of course, you can see little gaps that aren't fully closed yet. I need more clamps, and I don't have any more. But it does have a skateboard shape. So for the most part, it's pretty damn close. It's not too shabby, but clearly like that's up and that's not as up. But that's how it's looking. So I just gotta hope that I did this right. When it dried, I cut it out with one of these jack saws, I think. Yeah, that came out with some issues. You'll see later in the video. Hopefully it turns out well. Clearly, at this point, I was having some doubts, because not only did it not sound well, but it didn't look well when I was cutting it. The wood was starting to like separate, and the noises it was making sounded like it was tearing through like a cat. Like it was not good, and it really just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth when I was making this. It is my only one big wood project, so I didn't really expect much, and it was way too late to turn back at this point, so I just had to keep going. This is when I started getting nervous, because I realized how sensitive the wood was going to be and how many small mistakes would cause major damage to this board. This was the big moment where Ooga Booga Brain realized a little bit of glue in the center of the board was not enough to hold in the whole board. So it's going to split and push out at the edges, making lots of major weak spots in the board. Not only that, but now making it super brittle to the point when I cut it in the wrong angle, it's going to tear the wood in half. And at this point, I couldn't really like change anything, so I just had to keep going and just go as slow as I can and hopefully not break about a month's work. Looking back at it now, you can really see how fragile the board is. Like, just a few cuts and you can see it's just falling apart at the seams. It's kind of crazy to look at now. Thank God I found a way to deal with this, but Jesus Christ. I would have gave up if I didn't know any better. You know what? It's very messy, like extremely messy. Look at that. You can see this one's good, this one is not. It's a little small. It needs to be cut more at an angle. Thankfully, later on, I found this like glue. I don't even know what kind of glue it is. I hope it's wood glue. Found it in one of my drawers from like middle school. Hella old, but I mean, it's glue, you know. I just put it on this extra piece to kind of fix the wing. That way, it at least looks presentable for the parts that I'm like messing up. And I actually adopted this strategy later on for a lot of parts that looked really bad. But I mean, it's still wood, same wood, you know. Skateboard's a skateboard, and hopefully that stays. I mean, clearly I had to clamp it because like, if it just stayed there, it wasn't gonna like be a part of the skateboard. So I ended up just clamping it together. In a second, you'll see. Give it a second. There you go. Yeah, I clamped it and left it for like a night or two just to make sure it was really on there. And I really just decided to keep the glue because not only do I not have any other choice, but it was actually pretty cool. Ended up doing the same thing for the other side because I wanted it to be at least a bit symmetrical, and I wanted to fix the little parts that were like poking out because, as you can see, there's quite a few mistakes on this board. So the little pockets that were still left open from not having glue in it, I just shoved some glue in it and clamped it together, and you can see how bad it was on that wing. But yeah, I'm adopting this strategy for the rest. So basically what I'm doing is I'm putting this old wood glue in between the little cracks and openings of the skateboard, so that way it kind of acts like a filler, and I fill up the little empty spaces. So like that little hole right there, just filling that up with glue for as much as I can shove in there. And then what I want to do is put that away, grab one of these little clamps, and then I just slide it over in the spot I want it to be. I'm doing this one-handed, but you get the gist. Okay, so I nearly turned off the camera doing that, but look. So I put it right here, okay? Get it settled, and then I twist to tighten. And look at all that glue. Look at the glue, ready? Ooh, just squeeze together. And it pushes some of that glue outward, but that's what we want. We want it to put all the excess glue out and just use whatever's in there to just stay in there. Okay, so that's tightened a good amount, not amazingly, but you see how there's a little opening there? Uh-oh, what are we gonna do about that? Well, that's why I have 3 more fucking clamps, so that way we can put that over there. And then I'm not doing this one-handed, but boom, just like that, we got another clamp on, we tighten it, and boom, perfect. Now, uh-oh, you say, look at all the extra glue we got there. Well, fear not, this is why we have the, what, I forgot what these are called, but whatever. You just kind of gloss over, kind of like you're priming something, or like you're, what is it called? Adding filler? I don't remember what it's called, but I just smoothing it out here, and then we're good. And then all the holes, as you can see, are all plugged up and glued together. And that's what I did all over the sides here. Ignore that, I didn't do this wing yet, but all, oh, fucking stick. When we flip the board on the other side, it's still clamped, so it's kind of heavy, but you can see I glued together these sides. You can see a little spacing in there, but that's like a fraction. It looks bigger on the camera, but the rest, well, actually I should probably, I think that part actually needs more glue. Let me check. This is how we check. See the opening? That focus. Squeeze it. That needs more glue. You see this opening right here. You squeeze it. Okay, that needs more glue. Okay, fuck. Anyways, the rest, even the wing here, glued shut. So that way, there's no bad spacing. Ignore the pet fur. But yeah, the rest of the board looks in pretty good condition. Look at this part. Look, see that? Looks like a hole. Uh-oh, let it focus. Let it focus. Let it there we go. So you see the glue? If I try to squeeze that, oh, what happened? No squeeze, because that's actually glued shut. So even right here, you see a little hole? Let it focus. No movement. That means it's good. It's stuck together, and that's what we want. We want it all in one piece. Of course, the messy parts I'm just gonna have to sand over, but it's looking pretty good so far. The board itself, good little curvature. And the parts that are being glued right now, good clamped together. So we're solid here. Just a few more tweaks, and then we'll get to decorating. But right now, it's mainly just the base of it. I know there's a little divot here. I'm not too happy about that, but it'll all come out when we sand it. So, yeah. This is the midway. All right, we're almost done. That little mistake caused me about a month's, about I'd say half a month's worth of sanding. But hey, check this out. I know it doesn't look much different, but if you turn it around, look at that. It's not symmetrical, like at all. But hey, the smoothing is, well, okay. So I marked this part because I need to sand that shit like just a little bit more, and then it should be flat enough that it looks more like the board that I'm trying to make. The little mistakes are finally fixed up, sanded out, so it actually kind of looks good. I can't lie, it kind of looks good. Same for the other side. Actually not the same for the other side. Jesus Christ. Wow, that looks a lot worse than camera. Ignoring that, the fact is the board is pretty close to being finished now. I just have a crap ton more sanding to do. Yeah, this is just, it's a lot of sanding, really. Like, you can ask some of my friends, but like halfway through playing games, I just have sandpaper all over my keyboard, my mouse. But I should have used a power sander, low-key. I should have just used a power sander. Why didn't I fucking use a power sander? Regardless, I'm pretty happy with the outcome so far. It looks pretty good. I think when I get it painted and get all these black marks off of it and sand this last piece off with my hands, because I'm already too deep in hand sanding, so I can't power sand it now. So now I feel like I need to earn this. I still think it looks pretty good. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. The last thing I need to do after I sand that little piece off, because you can see how warped it is. After I sand that piece off, I just gotta drill some holes in it, paint it, and yeah, just put some trucks on that bad boy. We are almost done. This is about, how long have I been working on this? Jesus Christ.